A recent study by Allianz estimates that nearly half of retirees they're anxious about spending their savings. What's one way to help overcome that? Well, financial planner Kevin Loom says look at an income annuity.
Annuitized income won't maximize wealth, but it can maximize spending confidence. The average person with an annuity spends twice as much money as someone with a similar portfolio invested in the market. Now, the portfolio owner ends up richer, but the annuity owner feels more secure, even if they end up with less money.
So it might not necessarily make them rich, but it does address that number one concern, the fear of running out of money. Have you seen this with some of the clients who come in to see you guys?
Absolutely. So here's the interesting rub. When you look at baby boomers, who are the folks that are retiring in large numbers now, they have been very good at investing. They've been very good at saving. And they seem, the ones that are very much engaged in a process of putting together their nest egg for retirement, they're clued in as to how much money they have, and they're really a part of the process. And when we work with those people, they're a fully engaged partner, which I think is a really good thing. So what happens when they retire? Well, it changes, and it really forces a lot of people out of their comfort zone. They go from, well, I'm saving a lot, I'm investing well, to now I'm spending. And income annuities are a very good discussion topic with clients. It's not an answer that every client that will embrace, but they will most definitely want to have a discussion, because when we do a retirement team action plan for people that come here, we implement that independent income system. So when you look at reliable income and current income, an income annuity can do a lot to satisfy the needs in the income category for a retired investor. And the other thing is, they don't have to worry about market risk. The one thing that we do come across a lot with people who are considering these types of vehicles is, if they want to leave a lot of their nest egg as a legacy for loved ones, an income annuity is a difficult choice for them to make, because over a period of time, they're spending that asset down. And in a perfect world, they may be spending it down to zero. But the thing is, once the account value hits zero, the insurance company is still on the hook to make those income payments for the rest of their life. So it's a really good planning tool, but it's not necessarily a good tool for a legacy transfer if they're interested in just stockpiling funds to give to loved ones. The other thing I would say with saving, people, I come across this a lot, and if it's one thing if I could change it personally, I absolutely would. You think about the dynamics of a family. Mom and dad have their kids, they raise their kids, they put them through college, they get them into adulthood where they're self-sufficient and be able to pay for their own expenses. And then all of a sudden, mom and dad say, well, we're way behind on the retirement spectrum. Now we need to throw a lot of money at retirement. That's a catch-22, because if you start throwing a lot of money at the market when the market's not performing well, you've got an issue. You may not accumulate enough in the savings. So waiting to save is a problem. The other thing that you run into is that if you're not taking full advantage of what the company you work for is offering you, if it's a 401k, are they offering matching contributions? Are you putting in enough to take full advantage of the match? That can be an issue. If you're working without a budget, you tend to spend more in retirement. It's hard if you don't have a budget as far as How am I going to rein in spending when I need to do that? I want to come back to the 401k discussion for a quick minute. There's been a big change for people who have been fully funding their 401k contributions with a catch-up contribution because they're age 50 or older. And the big change is this. The government is now requiring that 100% of catch-up contributions be contributed to a Roth IRA. So what happens to the investor who has put all of their money in traditional 401k? Well, they've been declaring a tax deduction for that. The company's match has been tax deducted from the company level. So a lot of people may not even have a Roth IRA option in their plan. Well, now these companies are going to have to add it in. How many years do you need to have and be contributing to a Roth IRA for it to make a true difference in your retirement scenario? I think it's double digit in terms of years, but you know what? If you invest well, maybe you can bridge the difference. But everyone that's making catch-up contributions is going to have to deal with the fact that that money moving forward is going to have to go into a Roth option.